Everything has a plan. Everything comes together for a reason. So this is the FT-817 818 Go bag. I have been working on this for a little while. This is actually the second bag. I like this one a little bit better because it has some more room inside, and we need a little bit more room so we can store a little bit more gear just to make sure we have everything that we need. First off, this is the 10-meter DX Commander Expedition pole. This is the short pole. You can buy these poles from Cal directly without having to buy an entire antenna kit. However, the antenna kit is fantastic as well. All I'm using in this kit right now is just the pole. So let's take this off from its quick deploy Velcro straps. And on top of this, I went down to my local fishing store and I got this little guy here. And I just super glued it right on to the end of the mast, so now this will be able to hold up my antennas. And a pro tip, these guys get really flexible out at the ends here, so while you attach it here, also wrap it around a couple of times around the pole itself, and that'll continue to use the coax strength or your feed line strength or your inverted L strength or whatever to add more rigidity and more strength to the pole. But it compresses down neatly inside and is ready to go for whatever antenna you want. Either a sloper or a dipole, an inverted V or whatever, you can use this with it. I use this with a couple of different verticals. I love it. To dig a little bit deeper into the bin, these are the prototype versions that we used for the Coffee and Ham Radio's end-fed half-wave antenna kit. I will leave a link down below for the ones that are slightly better than this and are black, so they'll match the bag a little bit better. This bag has tons of straps everywhere. There's one that covers the whole top and goes through the molly webbing, or you can take it back out of the molly webbing there. There's molly webbing and Velcro for more morale patches there. And there, if morale patches are your thing, there is a section up here that you can put that pole through if you wanted to. I just happen to use these, no big deal, whichever way you go. The Apri 42 and a half inch 2-meter antenna. They also sell a 11-meter antenna in this size configuration as well. I need to figure out what the difference, if any, there is between the two. So look for that in an upcoming video. Let's get into front pouch first. In here, I have, what is this? This is the DigiRig kit, and these are the little Digi bags. This way you can't lose all the pieces that go with the DigiRig. So we've got the individual controller, the USB cable, and then the 2 audio cables that go with the DigiRig. All of those get stored nicely inside the bag, and that fits nicely in the front of the bigger bag. One bag down. Another small bag. What do we have? But what do we have here, T.O.? This bag here is all of the accessories for the Xiegu XPA125B amp. This is the CN20, which enables you to connect the radio to the amplifier, and it's supposed to work with the 817. It does not work with the 818 in terms of automatically switching bands, but it does work fantastically in terms of connecting the amplifier and keying the PTT circuit. So I've got the straight through audio cable. I have the 6-pin to 6-pin cable for the front side for the 818, 817, and then I have the, wait, I got that backwards. I have the 8-pin cable as the black one. The 6-pin cable is the gray one. So 8-pin in the front from the radio and 6-pin out the back to the amplifier. And all that goes in the Digi bag. Nice and neat. 2 bags down, nothing left in the front pouch. We'll close that up. The second pouch in the front. Do we have anything in here? Of course we do. We have the AA battery holder. I have a couple of different batteries that I want to test with these, both rechargeable and non-rechargeable. And then I have the original nickel metal hydride battery pack that came with the radio. So we got those 2 things going there. I also have a couple of mini bungee cords, mini doingy cords. You can also use bolo ties, but these are just ones that I happen to have handy. I do have some bolo ties that I can use as well. They all fit nicely in that part of the pack. Up here, in this smaller package, I have the 2 battery chargers. This is the battery charger for the WinCamp battery, and this is the battery charger for the Jankopotamus, which actually fits in here, the $60 Evolve 3 Maestro laptop. So we've got digital modes and we've got logging and everything inside the main pouch. Speaking of main pouch, let's take a look in there. There is this little flat pocket here, which I happen to like because there's this space above the radio. And what I did was I put my 3 amp hour Bio-NO battery so I can get all of the power necessary outside of the radio instead of contained inside the radio. And this just keeps it from rattling around inside, and it fits into that space above the radio nicely. So let's get this pouch opened all the way up. I have a couple of antennas in here. Usually I don't keep antennas in this bag. I have a second bag for antennas, but this is the QRP Guys Tri-Band Vertical. This is one of the prototypes of the Coffee and Ham Radio's NFED half wave, and they're in see-through bags so I can tell which one is which. And then the FT-818 itself with the 3D printed side rails and the custom cable job on the back to route both cables out the front, so you can operate this man pack style if you wanted to. And then, as I mentioned before, the Evolve 3 laptop fits nicely in the little laptop sleeve. There is not padding in this bag on the bottom, so don't go slamming the bag around. You got valuable stuff in here. Let's take good care of it. So we'll put this back in the pouch there. And you can, like I said, you can operate from inside the bag or you can operate from outside the bag, whatever your operating environment entails. Now, that's not all. You do have the MOLLE webbing on the side where I have the Abri antenna stored, and then you have MOLLE webbing on the other side. There's D-rings all over the place on this bag. It has a special sling bag style of shoulder strap here. We'll get to that in a minute, but they do come apart real easy to get them out of the way. And then in the back, there is another pouch that has the breathable mesh on it so you don't sweat yourself to death. And I keep my paper log there, and I keep my coax there, and I keep a coax adapter in case I need it to go from the radio right now, which is sporting a SO239 for the rear antenna jack and a BNC for the front, so I can go in either direction from those two. And all of that fits nicely in the bag. Howdy everybody, Steve here, KM9G. I feel like the Oprah Winfrey of bags for ham radios. Everybody gets a bag. You get a bag, you get a bag, you get a bag. Yes, sir. So this is the sling bag strap I was telling you about. Fairly easy to connect and configure to, as long as you can find the straps. Fairly easy to connect with and configure. There's one strap, and there goes the other strap. And you are ready to go. Good for business. There will be links in the description down below where you can get this bag and most of the accessories that I'm currently using for the FT-818. All bags evolve all the time. So this bag may come up in a future video with some new accessories. It may come up in a Parks on the Air activation where we prove out what does and doesn't work or what we do and don't like about it. I do like to make sure that all of my radios that have a bunch of little teeny tiny miscellaneous accessories have some way of storing them all together so that they don't get lost. There's nothing worse than having a radio and needing the amplifier cable and not knowing where you put the amplifier cable. So I make sure that everything gets a bag like this, and I do the same thing with my tools out in my shop that I do with my radios in my ham shack. There's a video right over here I think you'll enjoy next. Thanks for being awesome. I'll see you over there.